Hey there, Airsofters! Welcome to another Wyshtech video. So today, we're going to be comparing, in this video, this gear set for the SR25 and the SHS/Rocket SR25 gear set. And if at the end of this video, I have links to pre-ordering these gears off of my website, my Discord channel, and other social media presence that I have online. So first things first, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a baseline chrono of FPS and 0.20 gram BBs of the stock setup inside the CYMA SR25. We're only testing the gears today. Second, we'll get the FPS on the SHS SR25 gear set. And I'll tell you what the major issue that I find with these brands. You'll want to know later. And then finally, we're going to get the FPS of this new gear set and see if these gears address that issue that I will explain when we get to the SHS and Rocket gears. So with that being said, let's do this. Okay, I got 0.2 gram BBs in this SR25. We're using the OEM gear set, and we're going to get 10 shots off and see how the FPS consistency is with the OEM gear set. And that was with a 11.1 LiPo battery. Okay, so I got the gearbox out and we're about to swap the OEM gears to the SHS gear set to do our comparison. But before we move on, I want to share with you the issue I was mentioning earlier with SHS and Rocket gear sets for the SR25. First thing being, if you look closely, you'll see that the pickup pin right here, this low roller bearing for the tappet plate, is way far ahead of the pickup tooth for the piston. And what this does is create tappet plate PME because it ends up picking up the tappet plate far too early before the piston comes all the way forward. So that is one of the biggest gripes that I have for these gear sets from SHS and Rocket. And even the previous generations had this issue too, and I don't understand why they haven't fixed this yet. Additionally, the only thing that's keeping this gear together are these two screws right here. This is a two-piece gear set, and this one in particular sheared off those screws when the airsoft gun had a premature engagement with the piston. So the gearbox tried to lock up, the gears tried to spin, and it just sheared off those screws, those tiny itty-bitty little screws. So back to the tappet plate, if you look on the OEM one, you'll see that the pickup point for the tappet plate is almost directly underneath the pickup tooth, which is ideal to avoid premature engagement with the tappet plate. So if your airsoft gun cycles faster for semi-auto, for example, you shouldn't run into tappet plate PME with this one. However, with this SHS/Rocket gear, you will run into that issue, all because this just picks up the tappet plate way too early. So with that being said, and there's one other thing that I'm going to change on this airsoft gun to make it sound better. That being, first opinion, I'm going to use the appropriate pinion gear for this SHS and even the new gear set because their meshing is the same. This is the OEM one, and I put the SHS one on. And you notice that the collar is different too, and there's a reason for that. So if you grab my gear box, zoom in, direct your eyes to this guy. This hole right here, this collar is designed to keep that motor centered inside that hole. But there's one problem. It's way undersized. Check this out. You can see how much wobble there is. That's going to cause the teeth between the pinion gear and the bevel to kind of angle and move around while this airsoft gun is shooting. The biggest issue is the teeth not sitting flat against each other, so that's going to make it more noisy. This collar, however, is wider. If you look here, I'll show you the difference. Barely any wobble. Barely. And the deeper I go, the less it moves around. Show you the stock one again. Look how bad that is. So this is going to help with tooth-to-tooth contact alignment, as well as using the proper pinion gear for the bevel. So now I got that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and finish up shimming the SHS gears in this guy and get my motor height and bevel to pinion shimmed perfectly so we can get the best result in terms of gear noise out of this airsoft gun. But I'm pretty sure later in the video, you guys are going to see how atrocious tappet plate timing is on these SHS/Rocket gears. Yeah, this one's no good. And before we move on to the chrono and show you what I'm talking about with the FPS results, I wanted to elaborate the tappet plate PME causes from this gear set. Any motors over 30k RPM at 11.1 volt causes the tappet plate PME. However, if the motors are under 30k RPM, like let's say you keep the CYMA motor in this thing, the tappet plate PME doesn't happen with these Rocket SHS gear sets. Another thing that helps with the tappet plate PME with this gear set is using a stronger spring for higher FPS will definitely help, as the piston will travel faster so it ends its cycle before the tappet plate gets picked up by the sector gear of this brand, Rocket/SHS. However, this does not happen with the OEM and new SR25 gear sets, as these gears give the piston more time to end its cycle before the tappet plate gets picked up. That being said, let's head over to the chrono. Alright, to demonstrate tappet plate PME, we got our faster motor in here, 11.1, and we're going to do 10 shots on semi, and then you'll really see the difference in full auto. But first, semi. Not much of a drop, not much of a change, but wait till you see how it behaves on full auto. Alright, here we go, full auto. You can see that massive FPS drop. That is the direct result of tappet plate PME with these SHS Rocket gear sets for the SR25. Okay, so now we're going to put this gear set in this SR25 while still using this motor. This is that fast motor that got us our tappet plate PME, and if you look, the pickup pin is a little bit further back, and so this should help, versus the SHS sector gear or Rocket is a bit further, so hopefully this will improve, if not completely eliminate that tappet plate PME. Not only that, but the pin actually goes all the way through the gear, and therefore there's no stress on these screws, so it won't shear if you ever use a really strong spring or if there's a premature engagement. Plus these gears are just super nice. So anyways, with that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and throw these gears in this SR25, and I'll get right back to you.
5 minutes later.
Okay, got the gears in, got them re-shimmed. I even did motor height adjustment as like I did with the other previous gear sets, except for the OEM. I just shot it and left it like that to do it as accurate as possible results between these sets. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and throw the shell on, get it in the rifle, and then we'll go right over the chrono. Okay, got the 11.1 LiPo in this thing, as well as that fast motor that we tested previously with the SHS and Rocket gears and 0.20 gram BBs. And to show you, here is semi. Damn, we got an FPS increase. Alright, flipping her to full auto. Let's see if it PMEs with a tappet plate on full auto. Here we go. Yeah, check that out, guys. Not only the PME of the tappet plate stopped, but we even gained FPS, which goes to show how important tappet plate timing is. For watching the video, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.